Hey guys, Todd here. Today we're going to install the DiamondBack SE on this 2019 new body style Chevy Silverado. Now this is a very similar installation for most trucks. Let's go ahead and get started. To install the DiamondBack, these are the tools that I'll be using. We've got an Allen wrench that was included in our kit. We've got a 9/16 socket and ratchet. Okay, we're going to start off with our center panel, but before we just put it on top of the bed cap, we want to make sure it's oriented properly. When you flip it upside down, you're going to see a sticker that's got arrows that are going to be pointing towards the tailgate. So make sure this side right here points towards the tailgate. Once we set it onto the bed caps, we do want to center it side to side, but we don't really want to have it exactly center front to back. We actually want to have it cheated towards the rear just a little bit. That way we can take the assembled cover and shift it forward when it's all done. Okay, so here are the clamps we're looking at. The way they're going to go up in there is just basically rock the clamp up into place like so. Now we've got two clamps to put. They're going to go almost right next to each other. We want this one as close to this side as possible, and the other one is going to be as close to this beam as possible. Now underneath your bed cap there is a little plastic piece that kind of protrudes down. That is just there because the factory wanted to have something to help to install your top bed cap. So that piece is going to eventually get in your way, so I went ahead and snapped that off. Once this clamp is in place, I'm going to go ahead and just tighten it down finger tight, and then do the same thing with all three other clamps on this side and on the other side. All right, now here is the cab side panel. Before we attach it, what we want to do is rotate the latch. That way it can drop down into the bed. Next, we're going to go ahead and set it up onto the cover. Slide it over top of the pin on one side, and then it's got to be at a 90-degree angle. On this side, this is going to drop down onto the hinge when it's at a 90-degree angle. And then we're going to go ahead and let it drop forward. Now the tail panel is different. The handle on top is going to be centered instead of offset to one side, but it's going to install the exact same way. We're just going to twist that handle, that way it retracts the latches, and then attach it to the pins, just like on the front. Now we can go ahead and set the alignment of the assembled cover. We're going to make sure it's centered side to side and front to back. There we go. Because we just shifted the cover around, these clamps are probably also shifted around. They may have even fallen off. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make sure that they are nice and square and then tighten them down. They do not give you a torque setting, so just get it nice and tight. You want to make sure you retighten them after about 100 miles because they will vibrate a little bit loose. All right, now just repeat the same for the clamps on the opposite side. Now to adjust the latches, the first thing we want to do is from the top side, turn the latch handle to the closed position. That engages the latches. Now we can go down below. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this corner. All four corners adjust the exact same way. So now that we have the latch pushed all the way underneath the bed cap, we can see where it's going to be striking the bottom of the bed cap. So what we're going to need to do is push that out of the way. This is the spot where it's going to go. This is our bed rail trim. Now we've got adhesive on one side. What that's going to do, that's going to go up in between the bed cap and the metal on the actual bed of the truck. And this J portion is going to clip around that. So we want to be really careful not to attach the adhesive to the bed cap before it's engaged. So go ahead and pull away the adhesive protector. Next, we're going to go ahead and pull the bed cap back and then slide this up into place. And there we go, it's in place. Now When we dial that over, this is not going directly into metal bed cap and wearing on that prematurely. All right, now we're going to go ahead and tighten down these bolts, but before we do, have a friend bear down on the cover. What that does is that lowers the latch rail. That way what we can do is push up on that latch rail to where it barely touches the bed rail trim. And now we can go ahead and with a 7/16 tighten down these bolts. Okay, now you want to test. Make sure they go back and forth, side to side. Repeat that on all 4 corners. Okay, we're behind the cab of the truck on the driver's side. I've got this panel supported by a friend behind me. What I want to do here is draw your attention to this tether strap. Now, this needs to be looped around this tube frame. It also needs to go around this ball stud. So I'm just going to fit it around like so. Bring it to the ball stud and go around that. And next we can go ahead and lower down the panel to where this catch can go over top of the ball stud. Okay, now that the safety catch is installed, we can go ahead and attach our gas spring. We need to have the tube up to the top and the rod down to the bottom. We're going to take our release and bend it out. That opens it up where we can slide that right over top of the ball stud and then lock it in place. Do the same thing at the bottom. All right, and the passenger side installs the exact same way. We just don't have the safety catch. Now at the rear is going to install the exact same way. We just have the gas springs now. Again, we're going to have the barrel side up, shaft side down, attach it to the ball stud at the top, and then bring it down to attach it to the ball stud on the bottom. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Now with your cover installed, let's go over the operation. To open the cover, what we're going to do is turn the latch up top and just raise the cover. The prop rods will push it the rest of the way up. To close it, you can either grab it here or grab here, drop it down. Then you'll want to bear down a little bit as you twist to help the latch rods go underneath. Now these are neoprene seals, so a couple of things come into play. Eventually they will kind of relax a little bit. Usually after a couple of weeks, the cover will sit a little bit lower on its own, so you may need to go back and readjust your latch rods after a couple of weeks. Also, because these are neoprene seals and because the cover comes so far over top of the tailgate, typically your tailgate doesn't just open up by itself when you hit the button. And if you've got a key fob that has an automatic drop on the tailgate, you typically still have to help it down and back up. But everything still works perfectly and it does a great job keeping the water out. Let's go up to the front. Now at the front you have a latch mechanism just like you do on the back. However, the back is centered, the front is offset to the driver's side. So you want to open this from the driver's side. Now both of those latch mechanisms are also lockable and it comes with included keys. So if you want to lock down the cover, just insert the key, turn it 90 degrees, and then you cannot turn that latch mechanism. To unlock it, just do in reverse and now you can unlatch it. Once you turn that, this will lift up just a little bit, then it won't lift up any further. You actually have to reach inside, push in on the safety latch, and then it will open the rest of the way. Okay, one other thing I want to point out is you may need to adjust the length of your latch rods. Whenever you turn the latch up top, what that does is that moves the rod underneath your bed cap to catch underneath the bed cap. Now, if that comes out too far and hits the inside of the bed, it might not be able to latch all the way and lock up top. So you might need to bring that back. Or whenever you turn it out, if it doesn't quite go underneath your bed cap, you might need to lengthen it. The way that you adjust that is in your kit, you'll have a 1/8 inch Allen wrench. You're going to come back here to where the latch is, loosen that up, and then you can move the latch rod in and out wherever you need it. Once it's set in the proper position, you just go back and tighten back up, and you're good to go. Do that to any latch rod that needs to be adjusted. Well, that concludes the installation. If you have any questions, call the experts or visit us online.